Hey everyone, it's Marie with Freelance Business Week Buffalo back on again. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. We kicked off the day with our Buffalo kickoff and our co-working panel. So if you got a chance to catch that, thank you. And if you missed it, there will definitely be a replay on that. But I've been looking forward to this day all week, not because the conference is over, of course. That makes me sad, but that I get to show my Buffalo pride. Like, I love where I'm from. I love that we get to stand on a stage virtually with, Austin, Tampa, and Miami. So thank you all for that. And everyone in our community, thank you for your support. Last but definitely not least, rounding out our speakers for the week is Tia Meyers. She's the founder of Freelancing Females, the largest woman what I'm looking for, woman-related, freelancing group. And I've just been so inspired by her, and she's just been fantastic, in the community. I started off by joining her group, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull her up now.
Hi, everyone. Hello. Thanks for having me.
I was just telling everyone how amazing you are and how your group just looking up to you and aspiring to be like you, for at least like almost 2 years now, honestly. And, go ahead and, introduce yourself. Let us know, who you are if we don't know who you are already. And I'll step here with you for a little bit.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon to all of you. And thank you for having me today at Freelance Business Week. It's really exciting to be here with you virtually. I've only done a few of these events since quarantine, and they've been really special to connect with you all. My name is Tia. I founded Freelancing Females, which is a global online community. And we started back in 2017. And Freelancing Females is a community where we host different conversations, job opportunities, mentorship, and we'll be talking even more about it soon. But I just wanted to say thank you for having me. And I have some really great slides for you guys today. And oh, there we are. Awesome. Okay, so I just want to get started, and feel free to ask questions. I'm happy to answer them during or after the talk. And let's get going. So today we're going to talk about growing your business with community. And over the past 3 years, Freelancing Females has grown from myself and a few friends into 200,000 women strong. And it's been incredible to see the growth and meet our community members from all areas of freelancing, all ages, all places. And starting a community could be a little daunting, but it's really special to become friends with them and grow. But freelancing communities don't just start. They come into fruition in many different ways. So we're going to talk today about how I built Freelancing Females and how you can build your own in today's digital landscape. Okay, so I founded FF in 2017, and our mission is to be a global community powered by women who are redefining the 9-to-5. And I started it because I was stuck in a place. I had just started freelancing. I had been going on a lot of coffee dates with women who were kind of thinking about doing the same thing and in the same place as me, but we didn't really know where to ask those hard questions. And as some of you have probably had to deal with in the past, I went through a big non-payment issue with a large company, and I didn't know who or where to turn to. As a solopreneur, you are very solo at times. And finding community was so important to me in my growing of my business on the freelance side and on Freelancing Female side. And that's where Freelancing Females came in. So we started as a Facebook group with just a few friends. And in the first month, the friend group grew to friends of 500 people. And we chose the Facebook group platform because it was very simple. There was, easy access to it. Most people were already on Facebook. So that's where we thought would be a great place to connect. So if you're thinking about building a community around your business, why should you even think about it? Right now, especially in quarantine today, more than ever, we really need consistent, powerful, engaged communities, especially online. There's exponential ways to build and grow a community, but right now it's very needed to connect with others who are like-minded from you in your areas. And there's just so many benefits. So you're able to build strong bonds with your community members. It helped me find new clients who, got to know me through my community. It's able to give back and support other people, build trust around yourself and your brand, and build a relationship with your potential customers. Through your community, you can survey and ask questions and really learn what people want from you and your business. And it helps you prove that your idea is the way to go. But the first thing that you do if you are going to build a community is you want to choose why. What is your why for choosing your community? So as I said, Freelancing Females started because I needed a safe space to connect with other women, to ask the hard questions about what to charge, what the heck to do if a client ghosts you. And I was a lonely solopreneur who really wanted to connect with other women in the space. And there's a big pay gap between women and men. So I wanted to help close that also. Yes, it is very similar to your business why. So when you start thinking about it, you want to think about the individuals that you would like to have within your community, what they need and what their intent is, why you're getting these people together. For me, it was bringing other like-minded freelancers together who could help each other and build each other's businesses and share job opportunities. If you wanted to create freelancers with dogs, it might be because you wanted to connect with other people who might have, have a lighthearted community that you can share fun pics of your dogs and also the trials and tribulations of working from home with them. So if you're creating that space, you're responsible for the people that you're also bringing into it. And there's 5 different areas that communities are built upon. So it could be an interest or a passion. It could be a place like Buffalo. It could be an action that you're trying to bring about change. It could be a practice that you love to do the same undertaking as other people. And it could be through circumstance of events and situations that are happening in the world. So once you've chosen your why and why you want to build that community, you need a place to host those people. And today, you can't really host in real life communities as much as we would have hoped. You can definitely host very small, intimate communities. And I think that's also really important to grow your business, is creating collectives around your business, which could be like-minded people, but who are also different from what you're doing. So if you're a freelance writer, you might also want a freelance social media expert on your team, a freelance photographer, etc., so that you guys can recommend each other. But when you're looking to grow a larger online community and connect with people, your platform is very important. So we chose Facebook because it was very low lift. It was easy to organize, and most people already had the Facebook platform. But there's some other wonderful platforms. Freelance Business Week is on the Mighty Networks, and we've even utilized that. And that's a great place to host different conversations, a live chat room. So it really depends on what's going to meet your needs well and how you want it to grow. because you need to think about not just the 5 people in your community at the beginning, but the 5,000 that you might have and will be serving in the future. Okay, so for us, we chose the Facebook group, like I've mentioned, and we directed the conversations and aimed them to make it as productive as possible on the Facebook group. It also is very low cost for you. And we've been able to grow the Facebook group to 50,000 women now. So a few of the different ways that we talk and chat and grow our Facebook group is through job sharing, answering freelance questions, connecting on services and skill swapping, sharing honest feedback, and valuable insights. And from building our community on Facebook, we've found and learned that our freelancers have needs elsewhere. So we wanted to keep serving our community. And from the Facebook group, we've been able to build our business into different areas. So we created a newsletter called The Gazette, where we have a weekly roundup of really great links on the internet, great classifieds from other freelancers, and off the clock section, because a freelancer just doesn't consist only of work. You consist of what you're eating, what you're doing, what you're sleeping, what TV you're watching, and events from around the country that you can attend. And that was able to help us tap into some more businesses to partner with. Then we went into building an Instagram community for different demographics, and we were able to be a little bit more lighthearted on our Instagram, where our Facebook was more about the heavy and deep conversations. So we were able to grow from our Facebook group into a newsletter and an Instagram, where we're able to flex our creative skills, share quick tips and tricks and design skills, and tap into a larger, more global area of people. And then we grew into events. And for us, that was a really big turning point, because when you start meeting people in real life, which you might not be able to do now, but you could do online virtually through Zoom, it was able to really grow our community online, because people started meeting each other. They started telling people about the community. They connected in ways that they wouldn't be able to just being online. And with that, they came in and really engaged within the Facebook group. So you've now kind of thought about what platforms you might want to be on with your community. But one of the key design principles for creating a nurturing and meaningful community is first setting expectations. Because if somebody comes into your community, you want them to have an idea of what they can do while they're there. And it really helps you keep organized, and it's a time commitment. It's a big time commitment to host a community. So if you have some guidelines and organization within it, it really helps with community members coming in and creating a safe and positive environment for them. So we have, for us, we have posting guidelines, no bullying, no harassment. We have a zero tolerance policy to ensure that everyone stays safe. So if someone is to get into a little bit of an argument, those members, we have zero tolerance for. We have 50,000 members that we need to serve, and we want to make sure it's safe for them. So that's really helped us with setting guidelines. We've set organization around different discussion structures. So people can go into the Facebook group and easily scan what job opportunities are there for the day, or what conversations they want to get into with other members. And then we also make sure that there's really great resources, because a lot of the same questions you'll see will start getting asked again and again, like how to start freelancing for us is one of the biggest questions. And You don't want to keep approving the same question, or you're going to lose those members who have been there from the very beginning. And a great place to get in contact, because it's really important to be able to connect with your community members in many different ways. So setting your intent from the start helps you to foster the community that you're looking to grow. So you have your platform, you have your why, you have about everything you need, but now you need people. So when we started growing the community, I had found a lot of women within my group were in need of something like this. And you want to start small, because if you start big, it's going to go all over the place and you won't be able to really create that engaged community to start off with. So, oftentimes people within your community, as I've seen, have become your friends and your business partners and your emotional support. But first, start off with identifying 5 to 20 key contributors to join your community to get the conversation started. And some people create their community, they get it organized, and then they hear crickets. And that is because you really need to push people in the beginning to really start the conversation. And when I first started our Facebook group, I had a group of friends and I would put up a discussion and I'd sit there and I'd be like, what's going on? Where is everyone? And then I started texting friends and saying, could you answer this question? And once someone else answered the question, people felt more comfortable to get the conversation started and be more open. And that's really important to create engagement, to create meaningful conversation, and to set up your community in the right way. It's also really important to celebrate the new members who are coming in. I would directly DM people to say hello to them when we were smaller. I would set up one-on-one conversations with our community members to see what they were really coming in here for. Why were they coming to Freelancing Females? What were they most interested in? Because you're always going to be learning. So now you've got your key contributors, your community is starting to engage, you have the conversations going, and you're on to your next step. You want to grow and build your community. And this is how you do it. So in the beginning, you start with your close collaborators and your friends. Now you want to intentionally reach out to people who might be great influencers within the community, who are going to be key contributors who will share your community and will get the word out, and who will be great to come in and engage with your people who are already there, but also share everything else and share out to their friends and members. So a few great ways to promote and grow your community is invite your members to bring in new community members. If you've already kind of vetted these people, you really trust them, then the people that they're going to bring in are great people. Go in and learn from other communities. Don't copy them per se, but it's really great to go in and, to FBW, to Freelancing Females, to see how people foster and grow their community, to engage with like-minded people who might also want to be in your community and increase your engagement. Another great way is you're only one person, and as you grow building your community, you're going to need help. So we have a few moderators who come in, start the conversations. I have a really wonderful community manager. Her name is Carrie. She gets people pumped up. She gets conversations going. People love Carrie. So it's really great to have that engagement going on as much as possible to get people interested and to keep them engaged and there. Because you don't want people who are there for a few months. You want people who are there for years to come. So as you're growing your community, you also need to grow who you are. And that brings me to nurturing your community. So you have the people, you're starting to grow, a lot more people are coming in. Now, when you were 5 people, you're not going to be the same community as when you're 100 people, 1,000 people, 5,000, or 50,000. So to be able to keep and foster the same type of community takes a lot of work and effort. You want to keep it very close knit, but you also want it to grow. And it's a continuous time investment on your part to ensure your community members' voices are heard. So you want to host different discussions and topics. You want to survey your community's members often. Have their needs changed? What are they most interested in? Do they need any new resources? Is there a new type of discussion that you can host? During the pandemic, for us, one of the biggest things that we did was we immediately created a resource page for relief on the pandemic for freelancers and different types of resources that you could go to find other jobs, because a lot of our freelancers lost clients. So you need to have that always listening approach as your community grows and their needs change. And you want to keep checking in with people to make sure that what you've created and what you're building is what they're still interested in. And don't forget to go in and observe the conversations that are happening and reward your community members for their loyalty. For us, our Facebook group thankfully shows, our top 50 contributors, and that's really important to reach out to them, but also to reach out to new members to see why they're coming in, what they're most interested in, what are their ideas, because your community isn't a community without the people in it, and they also want to be involved. So you've nurtured a beautiful community. You have this huge community of dog lovers who are also freelancers, and now you've realized how much time it takes in your day to nurture this community. And it's a wonderful thing, but you also need to pay the bills. And that's where we came in and we were like, okay, we have this community of 50,000 wonderful people, but it's taken me at least 20 to 30 hours a week to keep it engaged, to keep it going, to create the content, etc. So most of the time you're going to be serving your community, you're going to be listening, you're going to be learning, which is very important. But you've also learned a lot about their needs and wants. And you also have probably talked to them about the type of companies that they interact with. So there's a few great ways that you can monetize your community. For us, we were able to grow a wonderful community of freelance women, which is a target audience that a lot of people are interested in. So don't be selling yourself all the time. People are going to get tired of that. People are going to realize that you're advertising. They come here for the community, but they also understand that you're building a business, and that business is growing. And our community was the heart of what we did. And it also helped us to make everyday business decisions because we learned the wants and needs of freelancers. So for Freelancing Females, we created a bunch of different buckets to monetize our services. And that was one of the big things was conferences. Conferences were a great way, and events, to serve our community, but also to bring in some really great partners who we believed in and trusted into our events, to help us monetize and pay for the partnerships. Another great way is to allow advertisements in your community. So for us, we've never allowed promotions from our community members because we felt like it would muddy the waters if everyone was promoting themselves. And you're able to promote yourselves under our job opportunities, which is most important. And we wanted those to bubble up to the top. But some people kept asking to promote themselves and advertise. So we allowed small buckets of promotion each year where people can advertise their services. And that's a great way to sell like a little bit of a premium type content. And then you can create downloadable resources. Is there something that your community really wants to learn? Is it, how to train your dog to be really good on your Zoom calls? So creating downloadable resources is also a great way, and it's really great passive income. When you have something working for yourself, that's most important when you have a community because it's taking time away. So if you can create any of those passive income streams, you don't have to think about it. You can kind of set it and forget it, and it's there to serve your community. And then premium memberships. Premium memberships are a really great way to, get those 10% of the community members who want more, who would love to engage more, who would love to learn more, and put them in a different bucket. And that's where Mighty Networks might be a great way for you to monetize into a premium content area for your community members. So there's many great ways that you can monetize between advertising, creating premium content, creating a membership community with more interesting and deeper content and learning. So for Freelancing Females, we've been able to grow over the past 3 years, and many things have changed. Many wants and needs of our freelancers have changed, and we're always there to try to foster community and have small connections and large connections. And it's been such a wonderful way for me to grow my business on the freelance side by connecting with potential clients through there. It's been a great way to grow your business through advertising and just monetizing your community. But you're able to really create something meaningful having community around your business. And it's taught me so many things that I never would have learned along the way. So if you're looking into creating a community around your business or yourself, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always happy to answer questions. I think it's really important, no matter how small or how big you want to create it, to have those allies. Can you comment on whether it is better to create a group using your branded business Facebook page or your personal Facebook page? I believe it would be best to use your branded business Facebook page because if you're going to create a community, people are going to look more for your business name versus your personal name. So if you were going to have the Kevin Bakewell community or Kevin's freelance social media experts, people are going to be searching more for that. So they'll find social media experts before they find Kevin Bakewell. And people who know you, they're easily going to be able to go into that community bucket. So you want to have searchability for your Facebook group and your Facebook community. So I'd say use your branded business page, and that's also going to be really helpful for building out your business because people will be able to search your business once they're in your community and hire you. And yes, Emily just said that Mighty Networks is a great platform. I love it. You can start at a very low rate. It's very affordable to start a community, and they only take, I think it's 5% after everything. So it's really worth it because it creates a really beautiful platform. You can customize it and everything. Hi, Marie.
Hi, I'm back. That was great. Thank you so much. I wanted to make sure we got through those questions. Thank you for, keeping it brief and very concise. So that was perfect. I think a lot of the principles that you have here for building a community, applies to business because, of course, I feel like in a well-rounded business, you build your own community, right? So yes. I think that that's, really important for a lot of us. So thank you for that. especially
Of course.
for people building co-working spaces. I know I've had that on my mind now a lot just by, opening one and having our panel this morning. So it's all of that resonated with me. So I'm sure it will resonate with those who were tuning in now live, and then of course on the replay. So did you have anything else that you maybe wanted to cover that wasn't in your slides that has kind of like sparked up? Or, I have a few things I could maybe talk to you about. So
I don't have anything specific. Happy to answer any questions. And if a question comes up later after we haven't answered it after Freelance Business Week, feel free to email me, tia@freelancingfemales.com. I'm happy to chat about it.
Perfect. Great. No, I appreciate you keeping this brief. Give us a little break in between before we close out. But honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I mean, I've been following Freelancing Females since I started freelancing. What year did you say you founded it again? Remind me, I'm sorry.
2017.
It was 2017. So that's when I moved home. So I moved back to Buffalo from Florida in 2017. So I want to say I joined the group when I was like freelancing part-time when I moved home. So I've been there since the beginning. I know that I have like a lot of little badges because I like to talk a lot. I post a lot. So that's always super fun. But, just from, getting to know you on that platform and then being like, wow, so that's Tia. And, I want to meet her. And now just being able to really like essentially stand on the same stage with you is, it's so much fun. I'm so blessed. And like, it was a great time to meet you, in Austin. So I'm super glad that before everything happened now that we did get to meet and bond. So, and, unfortunately we couldn't bring you to Buffalo, which would have been so fun, but hopefully,
okay.
You're like, it's okay. I don't want to come to Buffalo, but
no, I do.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's been so important because if it weren't for the community and for us connecting, none of this would have come about.
No, not at all. And there's so many people that we touch everywhere. So it's really just like a surreal feeling.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you'll start hearing stories from your own community and your own co-working space of people who met from here and then came here together. And it's really special to hear once you start connecting with other members one-on-one and finally seeing their faces and the person behind the screen. And that's what truly builds out your community.
Right. And we've been communicating via FaceTime and this a lot lately. And it'll just be nice to see people in real life. And like I've alluded to earlier in this week and kind of throughout the week is like, we need to be together more than ever. We need to hold events more than ever. Even if it's a little more difficult, it's okay because we have to work as freelancers that much harder to be successful, So this has always been great. There is another question over here. I'm going to pop this up for you to see. Is there any risk of building your community on a platform like Facebook and then you're at risk for losing it? I feel like that's a really great question.
That's a really great question, actually. So we did start with a Facebook group, and what I would say is why we went to our newsletter is because you own the emails, but you don't own Facebook. So that is one thing that you might want to think about when it's usability, or do you want people on a mighty network because you'll own that community? So I'd say always capture people's emails. For us, when we decided to use the Facebook group, we were a little, we were in it by then. And you're able to ask 3 questions when someone goes into your Facebook group. So you can have a really great idea of if they're going to be engaging when they come in. So we always ask people for their emails so that if we decide to, we have something really important to tell them that we need to get into their inbox, or we come out with something new, they'll always know what's going on, because you just never know what's going to happen to Facebook in the future or Instagram. So it is really good to think about the other platforms that might be more suitable for you as you build and you grow.
Yeah, I think that that's really important. I know a lot of people, I mean, you and I both come from social media backgrounds, so that's really fun. People ask me that a lot, and of course, as a social media expert, you want to encourage that online community, but then there are, of course, those fine lines. So the Mighty Networks, I've heard great things about it. I'm actually looking at taking Convergence Co-working and building our virtual network there. So I'm really excited to check it out.
It's a great platform. And, Instagram and Facebook are always needed to get the word out there for people who are searching and come across you. That's, your first level of communication with someone. So it's still important to have those social media channels and then to lead them into, your closer knit community if that will be on Mighty Networks or elsewhere.
It becomes a part of the funnel. And I think that that's really important, whether, you're in social media or marketing or just in business in general. It's super important to utilize those tools because, they're big players in the game. They matter. So we have to be there.
Yeah, the landscape's always changing. I mean, now there's TikTok. I'm not good at that, so
I've been on TikTok since like last fall. So it's been, oh my gosh, it's been a year since I've been on TikTok. How crazy is that? And of course that goes back and forth, so, but just building community on all these platforms. I mean, and really I think just to kind of tie back into our theme here, being diverse and inclusive with building our communities, right? And then within those platforms, I mean, we have all these platforms to voice those opinions. But we have to be aware and educated in order to do it in a way that hopefully, and what I think, at least I know our group wants to, like that we want to have people get together. We have all this power. And again, thank you for coming on and sharing your experience. I mean, you obviously learned as you grew, and now you're, in my eyes, at least, I'm like, when it comes to building a group, I'm like, talk to Tia, like you have to talk to her because she did that, so, and I love that you used the dog reference because it was a talk with Nakia, I think it was, and she was talking about freelance dog walkers. So it's just like, we all really like dogs. We've come to this conclusion that freelancers, I think we're dog people. It's just
we are dog people. I mean,
there's a couple of
I'll be really lonely if not.
Yeah, right. So I mean, we like animals. I think that that's something. Well, as freelancers, like if you're not working in a space, like you have to have an animal or something. Unfortunately, my apartment doesn't let me have pets, but I just like FaceTime all the time. So that's pretty much how I get that through. So awesome. So this VIP desk advantage, they sent you an email. So that's super exciting.
Awesome.
Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. So I'm going to gift you back about 20 minutes of your time. Tia, if you can stay on with me in the back room, that'd be great. But everyone else, take a break, get a drink, get some lunch, whatever. We will be on at 12:30 Central, so like 20 minutes, 1:30 Eastern. To do our like closeout event. The organizers of the cities are going to hop on. We're going to talk about, the event in general. We're just going to kind of close out with you all. So if you can tune in, that'd be really great. Thank you for tuning in and listening, in on Tia's feedback as far as building community. I think it was a really great way to round out the speakers for Freelance Business Week. So again, thank you so much, Tia, for, being here.
Thank you for having me. Have a great Friday, everyone.
See you really soon. Happy Friday, everybody. And I will see you all in a little bit.
Bye.